started. So we'll start with a seated warm-up, and then we'll get into a few different intervals that can be seated or standing. Everything that I showed today, whether it's standing, can be modified to sitting. And when we do some floor exercises, those can also be modified to sitting if you're not comfortable getting onto the ground. But we'll start with our seated warm-up. Come to the front of your chairs. And let's do a few shoulder rolls, opening up our posture. So rolling your shoulders down and back. Let's do that 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So setting our shoulders down into that position. This is our upright posture.
You can't see them.
I'll come back to a few different times throughout the class where we think about our chest up and our shoulders down. So with our shoulders down, let's do a few overhead reaches. So reaching with wide fingers up above our head. And then as you come down, forward fold, bringing your chin towards your knees. And then let's reach back up overhead, wide fingers. You can inhale here, look up. And then exhale, bring your chin down towards your knees. Let's do that 2 more times. Big reach, wide fingers. Inhale, and exhale, forward fold. 1 more. Big reach overhead. And forward fold. I want to move into a power walk. You can see me a little bit. So reaching out to the side, stretch out that same leg. And let's look up at our hand and take a few deep breaths here. Inhale. And on the exhale, try to sink deeper into that stretch. Reach further to the side. Inhale. And as you exhale, reach further to the side. Open and close your hand 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's come back up to the center. And let's reset it again. So we'll reach to this other side, look up at your hand, and let's take a couple deep breaths here.
Good morning.
Are you sharing your screen? Because we can't.
Open and close 5.
Are you sharing your screen? Because we can't see you.
We're not sharing the screen. She's right in the middle. It's something on your end.
There should be spotlight.
Okay, because he likes to see what they're doing.
Yes, it's not on our end. She's spotlighted. She's not sharing the screen.
Okay, so,
Okay.
okay,
Could be helpful to sometimes come out and then come back in. Sometimes that'll reset it. We're gonna move.
Mhm.
Let's bring one knee up to our chest. And let's do some ankle rolls here. Let's do 5 in one direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch legs. Knee up towards your chest. 5 ankle rolls one direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Let's see. Let's move into some of the power moves. I want you to count these out loud with me at home. So for our power ups, I want to count these by 3. So as a reminder, our power up is leaning down forward and then extending our shoulders back, pinching your shoulder blades. Let's do 10 of these, and I want you to count out loud with me and counting up by 3s. So we'll come down. This first one is 3. Down 6. Down 9. Down 12. Down 15. Down 18. down 21, down 24, down 27, down, and 30. Nicely done. Let's move into the power rock now. So this is the move we just did as a stretch. We'll go side to side, and let's count backwards from 100, counting by 5s. So after each power rock, we'll reset in the middle. So we'll start with our first one, power rock. This will be 100, and then we'll pause in the middle, and then to your other side, this is 95, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60, 55, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and last one, 5. Nice job. Our next move is our power twist. So as a reminder, we're going to start with arms wide and do a high amplitude twist to turn and clap, and then open and reset. For this one, why don't we count up by 10s? We'll start at 10 and end at 100. To start with arms wide, chest up, 10, open, 20, open, 30, open, 40, open, 50, open, 60, open, count with me at home, 70, open, 80, open, 90, open, and 100. Good. And then our last power move is our power step. As a reminder, this is taking an exaggerated step out and then stepping back in. And I'm not worried how far you step out. I really want to see you lift your knee high as you step, like you're stepping over a really high obstacle. Let's alternate side to side and count with me at home, counting up by 2s. So we'll end at 40. We'll do 10 on each side. Ready? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, and 40. Nicely done. Let's put all of these together in a flow. So for a flow, I want to sequence one move after another. Instead of doing several repetitions of each move, we'll sequence them together to have to practice a little bit of coordination. So I'll demo. If you know what you're doing, you can jump right in, and then we'll start together after this first round. So I'll start with one power up.
We
And then
cannot see you. I see a blue shirt, no head. Could you get into the middle of the screen somehow?
She is in the middle of the screen. Everything is fine on our
I
end.
can't see you neither.
Well, everything
Yeah.
is fine on your end, Katie, just so you know, I can see you perfectly. And I
Yeah,
guess,
but we can't. So it's for the people who can't.
right,
see.
so I believe it's something to do with your end on your computer because everyone else, and we've got like 48 people on,
Hmm.
and there's only you two that's having an issue. So it's gotta be
Okay.
something with your computer on your, that's going on.
Okay.
Every,
So we should go without, we should leave then?
I would go, have you went out and came back in?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Pardon?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
What I would suggest, call the Michigan Parkinson Foundation and they can walk you through it to correct your computer.
okay.
It's an iPad and it's been working fine.
Right,
Fine. Here.
Yeah, so
call them and they can help walk you through it. And, we're on a recorded session so we can keep going and then they can log you back into the session, okay?
what's that number real quick?
Just put your iPad on the spotlight view.
I'll put the phone number in the chat so, she can keep going.
In the chat, where?
So hold on one second. Keep going, Katie, and I'll put it up in the chat.
Thank you. I
Just
appreciate
put your iPad on the spotlight view. You've got it on gallery. And you need it on spotlight.
Well,
But yeah, like we said, the Michigan Parkinson number can walk you through those steps to help you figure out what's going on. So we'll jump back into the flow. So we're gonna do one power up, and then we're gonna go into a power rock on each side. We'll move into the power twist, open, twist, open, twist, and then get set up for the power step. One power step on each side. So that's our flow. I want to do that 5 more times together. As soon as we get to the end, we'll start right back at the beginning with the power up, okay? So we'll come down, power up, move into the power rock, power rock, power rock, open, twist, open, twist. Get ready for the power step, step out, together, out, together. So back to the top, down, power up, power rock, open, twist, open, twist, step out, together, out, together, down, power up, power rock, open, twist, open, twist, step out, together, out, together, down, up, power rock, open, twist, step out, together, out, together, down, up, power rock, open, twist, step out, together, out, together. I can't remember if we have one more, so let's do one just in case. Down, up, power rock, open, twist, step out, together, out, together. Nicely done. We are going to move into standing, or excuse me, not yet. We'll do that in a minute. I got a couple more things here. So let's start with a couple of boxing moves. I just want to start with jabs. So with posture up tall, alternating one arm and then another. So let's start with 20 jabs and then we'll add another exercise to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Looks good. Now we are going to add an overhead punch. So we'll still do our jab, and then I want to punch overhead. So 2 jabs and then 2 overhead punches. We'll still do 10 of each on each arm. So let's count on each left hand, that'll be 1. So for example, I'm punching with my right hand and now count 1, up, 2. So we'll still count to 40, but only count on that second punch. Ready? 1, and up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, one more of each, 19, and 20. Now I want to do an alternating jab while sitting. So the same move we started with, jab, jab. Then I want you to stand up and do an alternating cross. And then we'll sit back down and do the jab again. So if you need to use a little bit of support to stand up, make sure you can stand up safely. You can push with your hands if you need to. But I want to alternate between those moves, sitting and standing. We'll do that 10 times through, and then we'll take a break and get some water. So we're going to start with a jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross, sit back down. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. That's 2. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. 3. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. 4. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. 5. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. 6. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. 7. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. That's 8. 2 more. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. 9. Last one. Jab, jab, stand up, cross, cross. Nicely done, everybody. Grab some water. We're going to get set up for our intervals next. So take a break. We're going to do most of these next exercises will be standing, but I'll show a seated version as well. So while you're grabbing some water, I'm going to start to explain the next exercises. I have 3 that I'm going to show you and we'll cycle between them. So the first move is going to be a side lunge with a twist. So I'm going to opt to use weight for this, but you can choose to do this with or without weight. So you don't have to join me yet, but just keep an eye on the camera so you know what's coming. So I want to do a side lunge where I'm leaning onto one side. As I lunge, the side I'm leaning to, this knee is bent and my other leg is straight. So as I lunge to the side, I'm going to add a twist towards the side I'm lunging to. And then I'm going to step back together. Make sure when you lunge, don't step so far out that when you step in, you can't push yourself back to the middle. So only lunge where you can comfortably step back in with one step. A great option for this one is to do it behind a chair if you need a little bit of support to hold on to, okay? If you're seated for this one, you're going to do a seated twist with your weight. So if you're seated, you're going to do a twist and a twist if you're not comfortable standing. Our second exercise is going to be a modified burpee. So how I want to set this up is I have the edge of my treatment table here. You could use like the edge of like the back of your couch or the back of your chair, as long as you have something steady that's not going to move on you. What this move is going to be is a squat, and then I'm going to brace myself on the edge of this table here and step both feet out, step both feet in, stand up, squat, step out, step in. If you want to add a layer of intensity to that, instead of stepping back, you can jump your legs back. and then jump your legs back in while you're holding on. Your choice. If you're seated, I want you to do a seated glute set. So for a glute set, I want you to squeeze your hip muscles like you're squeezing your bottom. So squeeze, hold for 3 seconds, and then relax. Squeeze, hold, and relax. Squeezing your bottom muscles if you're seated for that exercise. And then the third one that we will do for this interval set, it's going to be a backward stepping power move. So facing forward, I want you to step and open and see if you can step all the way so that you're facing the wall behind you, and then step back together. So I'm trying to get my foot almost 180 degrees turned, step and open, and then step back together. You can hold on to something if you feel unsteady. Maybe you want a chair in front of you, you can keep one hand on, so that as you step and turn, you have something to brace yourself on. Same thing if you're seated. Take a big step so that you're stepping that leg almost behind you, and then back in. So really trying to exaggerate how far you turn. So those are our 3 exercises. You have options seated, standing, and then if you're unsteady and standing, for all of these, you can give yourself something to hold on to. So I am going to get my timer pulled up. For these exercises, I want to do 1 minute on, and then we'll do 20 seconds off in between, and we'll repeat it twice. So during our rest interval, feel free to grab some water and sit down, and then we'll take a longer rest break after this set. Pulling it up here. Okay, so we're going to start with that side lunge. I'm just going to stick to one side for now. And then next time, my second time through, I'm going to switch. You guys ready? We have 1 minute on of this exercise. Remember, if you're seated, you're just going to do the twist while you're sitting, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to lunge, twist, and then step back together. Lunge, twist, step together. Nice, you guys are doing that well. Something to think about while you're lunging is still keep your posture up. Don't let yourself lean forward even as you're lunging. I should be able to read the letters that are on your shirt. You guys are looking great, you're halfway done. Ten seconds to go. Good. We have 20 seconds to rest. So take a break, grab some water, and then we're going to move into our second exercise of this circuit. You have about 5 seconds to get ready. We're going to get into our modified burpee. And let's begin. We're going to squat and then either step your legs back or jump back, step or jump in, stand up and repeat. Squat, step or jump back, step or jump in, stand up. If you're seated, remember that you're going to be doing that glute set where you're squeezing your bottom muscles, holding for 3 seconds. And with this modified burpee that I'm showing in standing, you can step back or you can jump back. Either is a good option. You have 10 seconds to go. All right, take a break. 20 seconds to rest and grab some water. And our next exercise that we're going to alternate to is the backward stepping power step. Sitting or standing. Remember, you can hold something in front if you want some support. And let's begin. Step back and together. Step back. Try to turn your body so that you're almost facing that wall behind you, or as close to turning that much as you can. And I'm adding that arm reach as I step. Good job, halfway done. Five seconds to go. Nicely done. Go ahead and take a rest. 20 seconds to rest, and then we're going to start with that side lunge again. We're going to repeat all three of those exercises, and then we'll take a longer break. So about 5 seconds to get ready. We're going to lunge to the other side this time. If you're seated, remember you can do your seated twist. Let's begin. Lunge and twist. Lunge and twist. We're keeping our posture up tall. Remember, only lunge as far as you can step back into the middle comfortably. Halfway done. Three, two, and one. Great job. 20 seconds to rest. Grab a sip of water if you need to. We have 2 more exercises and then we'll take our longer break. We have our squat and then a modified burpee. If you're seated, I want you to do your glute set where you're going to squeeze your bottom muscles, hold them tight for 3 seconds, and then relax. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to squat, and then you can either step back or jump back and come back into your squat. 1 minute here. Good. Take a break. 20 seconds to rest, then we have our last exercise. You guys are doing great. Five seconds. And let's begin. So doing that exaggerated step to turn and look behind me, trying to step as close to 180 degrees behind me as I can. Make sure you're lifting your foot up high, doing an exaggerated step. Good job, more than halfway done. and rest. Great job. Grab some water, have a seat. Did a nice job with that. I'll start to demo our next few exercises. You don't have to join me yet. I'm just gonna start to explain them. We'll do another round of that interval training where I have 3 exercises again. My first one is actually gonna be in sitting. This is gonna be a Russian twist. So for this exercise, I'm scooting to the very front of my chair so that I have some room to lean back without hitting the top of the chair. So I'm leaning back and holding it. You'll feel that the further you lean back, the harder it is to hold it. And the more you're sitting upright, the easier it is. So you want to find a spot where, okay, this is challenging to hold. And holding that spot, I'm going to use my weight and twist side to side. Okay, so that's the first exercise. The second exercise that we're going to do, I am going to use my weights for this too, but you do not have to use weights. You can do it without. It's going to be a cross body elbow to knee touch in sitting. And then I'm going to stand up and power up and then do the same move in standing. And then I'm going to repeat it kind of like in our warm up, how we did the boxing move sitting and then in standing. Same thing, except we're doing the same move with that cross body touch, stand up, power up, cross body elbow to knee. Okay. So that is our second exercise. And then the third exercise is it's a forward and backward walking march. I am going to use my weights for this one too. You can do it with or without. So as you march, I want you to raise your opposite arm and leg. And I'm going to march walking forward. And then I'm going to backwards march. Step or march, step back. March, step back. So it's a lot of coordination to get that opposite arm and leg moving together. And then I want to use that while you're walking forward and walking backwards. If you want to start with doing it just in place, that's a great option. You can also do that just in sitting. Do the opposite arm and leg marching while you're staying seated. So I'll give everyone another 30 seconds, we'll say, and then we'll get started with that first exercise, which is the Russian twist. So this one has to be in sitting, but then for the other two, it's your option, whether you want to add the standing part or whether you want to just stay seated. All right. Well, I'm going to pull up my timer here and let's get started with that Russian twist. So I'm going to lean back and keeping that lean, twisting side to side. 1 minute of work here. One thing to think about as we've been talking with some of our exercises is even as you're leaning back, don't let your shoulders round forward. See if you can keep your shoulders back to keep your chest straight, even as you're holding that lean. Halfway done. This is different than the first exercise if you stayed seated last time, because I want you to add that reclined position, leaning backward. If it feels easy, lean back further. Ten seconds left. Good, and rest. So we have 20 seconds to rest and get ready for our next exercise. This one will start in sitting. It'll be that cross body, elbow to knee crunch, sitting, and then standing. 3 seconds, and let's begin. So elbow to knee, stand up, power up, elbow to knee. And repeat, sit down, elbow to knee, power up, elbow to knee. Good job, everybody. Halfway done. Five seconds. And rest. Good work. 20 seconds to rest, catch your breath. And then we're gonna move into our last exercise of this interval. That's gonna be our walking marching, raising your opposite arm and leg. You can do that in sitting. Or you can do it standing in place or then walking. Here we go, 1 minute. So I'm gonna do it walking forward and then walking backwards. Opposite arm and leg raise, and then step back. Good job, everybody. Ten seconds to go. All right, 20-second rest break. Good job, everybody. We have one more round in each of those exercises, and then we'll take a longer break. I'm definitely feeling my heart rate up. If you are feeling your heart rate increasing or your breathing increasing, that's good. We want to do higher intensity with this. So here's our second round. We'll get started with that Russian twist. 1 minute of work here. Make sure that you're leaning back to a level that feels challenging. Halfway done. Ten seconds to go. And rest. All right. 2 more exercises. This next one will start in sitting with that crossbody elbow to knee. 5 seconds before we get started. All right, here we go. Elbow to knee, and then your choice to move and do it in standing. Elbow to knee, power up, elbow to knee. Good job, halfway done. And rest. Good job, everybody. 20 seconds to rest, and then we have our last exercise. This is our marching with opposite arm and leg, sitting, standing, or while you're walking. Last minute of work of these intervals. Couple seconds to get ready, and let's begin. Good job, everybody. Keep working hard. Take your time with the marching. Make sure you're doing it smooth and controlled. Ten seconds left. Awesome. So that is our minute. Take a break, grab some water. Nice job with all those. We're done with our intervals for today. We are going to move to some of our power moves next. So I'm going to start getting my mat ready, but take your time, grab some water, sit down and take a rest. So when we do the power moves today, these are going to be the all four series around my hands and knees. If you're not comfortable in this position, a great modification is to do it kneeling with something in front of you. So I like to set up kneeling with my hands on a chair. If you feel unbalanced or have discomfort in hands and knees, this is a really good modification. Or you can always do the moves in sitting like we did in the warm-up. You can follow along into the same sequence of the power moves, just in that position. So I'll give everyone one more minute and then join me on the ground for our power moves. So we'll start with the power up. So for this power move, we're coming down at a large amplitude to squeeze your shoulder blades. If I was sitting in, or if I was leaning against my chair, it would look like this. So I have much more control. I don't have to go down as far. So let's do 10 of these together. Let's count backward from 10 as we do it. So we'll start with 10 as our first one, work our way to 1. We'll come down, 10, down, 9, down, 8, down, 7, down, 6, down, 5, down, 4, down, 3, down, 2, down, and 1. Nice. So for the next power move, the power rock, for this one, I walk my hands way to the front of the mat. And the first part of the move is rocking your hips backwards, kind of into a child's pose. And then my hands don't move, and I rock forward so that my hips go towards the ground. Okay? As a reminder, if you're seated, you're going to do that power rock where you're reaching up and across and then to the other side. Okay? So let's go through 10 of these, or why don't we do 12 and let's name the months of the year. So count with me at home. We'll start with January and work to December. So rock back. This first one will be January. Rock back. February. Back. March. Back. April. Back. May. Back. June. Back. July. Back. August. Back. September. October. November. And December. Good. Our next move for the power twist is gonna look like reaching up towards your hand and then tucking your arm through, threading the needle. If you're seated, your power move looks like opening your arms wide, turning to clap, opening, and then twisting to the other side. If you're seated, I want you to do that along with us. Okay? So let's do 10 on each side with this one. Why don't we count backwards from 20 as we do this? So reach up. 20. Other side. Reach up. 19. Reach up. 18. Up. 17. Up. 16. Up. 15. Up. 14. Up. 13. Up. 12. Up. 11. Up. 10. Up. 9. Up. 8. Up. 7. Up. 6. Up. 5. Up. 4. Up. 3. Up. 2. And 1. Nice job, everybody. One more power move, it's our power rock. And on all fours, as a reminder, what it looks like is rocking our hips back, and then use a lot of momentum to try to step your foot forward. Rock back, and then switch. If you're having trouble bringing your foot all the way forward, if it can go maybe halfway, a great modification is to use the edge of the chair. You can still rock back, and then it's a lot easier to bring that foot forward. You can get a bigger motion with it. If you're seated, I want you to do the power step and sitting, stepping out, and then stepping together using a big movement. So let's do 10 on each side here. We'll start with rocking back and step forward. That's 1, rock back, 2, rock back, 3, back, 4, back, 5, back, 6, back, 7, back, 8, back, 9, back, 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 2 more, 19, and 20. And one stretch I want to do in this position before we come back to our chairs. This is our cat-cow. So rounding our back up and then letting your back drop down. If you're seated, you can do the same thing with your hands on your knees, leaning forward, rounding your back up and then letting it drop down, stretching your middle spine. Let's do these 10 times, nice and slow, rounding up. And drop down. 1. Round up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Nice job, everybody. Make your way back up to your chair and we'll finish with some stretches. So grab some water, take your time getting up. All right. Looks like most people are there or getting close. We'll do just a few cool down stretches. Let's start with leaning to the side, reaching up overhead, almost like the reach in our power rock. In this position, let's do some wrist circles. We'll do 5 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come up slowly. And let's reach to the other side, opening up the side of our body. And 5 wrist circles in one direction, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Come up slow. Clasp your hands in front of you and round out your back, pushing your hands away. Let's hold here for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now clasp your hands behind your back and pull your hands down to push your chest forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's stretch out our shoulder. Bring one arm across and pull it close towards you. Let's hold here for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's stretch out our neck. So bring your ear towards your shoulder. You're gonna pull with that same arm and then tuck your other arm behind your back. Hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Roll your head to the other side. Switch arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're gonna go ahead and do a couple stretches for our legs. Straighten one knee out in front of you. Keep your knees straight as you bend forward at your hips. Only go as far forward as you can before your knee wants to start bending. Let's hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring one leg up across your lap. Push forward on your thigh and gently lean forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we will finish there. Great to be with you all today. Happy New Year. And be safe in the winter.